Good evening, everybody. Today is October 13th. It's about 6:04 p.m. We're going to get started. The school board's been in closed session with staff starting at 4:30 p.m. And we've come out of closed session to start the public meeting at this point. Before we get started, I'd like to lead everybody in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if we could please all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. In closed session, we handled a couple matters which I need to report out on. And it's the following. During closed session, the board took action on the following personnel decision, with the first by Tammy Bullard and the second by Francine Sitto. And on a vote of 5-0, the board approved the contract between the Board of Education of the TUSD Unified School District and Charles Lewis as Chief Personnel Officer effective October 1st, 2014. Congratulations, Mr. Lewis. Also during closed session, the board took action on the following personnel decision with a first by Francine Sitto, second by Tammy Bullard. On a vote of 5-0, the board approved the administrative appointment and employment of Frank Mackey as Director of Personnel Services effective October 30th, 2014. And Mr. Mackey will be now serving Tustin in the capacity that Mr. Lewis had been serving Julie Mitchell before she departed to be a superintendent at Roland Unified. So we're looking forward to working with Mr. Mackey pretty quickly here. And our last matter during closed session, the board took action on the following personnel decision of first by Tammy Bullard, second by Jonathan Abelove. On a vote to 5-0, the board ratified the terms of the board ratified the terms of resignation agreement dated October 1st, 2014 for employee 2014-15-02. Okay, and before I get to board recognition, I want to turn your attention to the east wall of the building here, and I would like to alert everybody that as part of Tustin Unified School District's ongoing Salute Our Schools program, we are saluting the Tustin Public School Foundation on its 25th anniversary this year. The foundation has created the wonderful display in the district boardroom, which can be viewed through December. For viewing times and dates, please call 714-730-7339. We thank Foundation President Margie Sepulveda, Executive Director Carol Burby-Garrett, and other foundation members for creating this outstanding display. Mr. Tom Ziegler will say a few words about the display a little later in the meeting. Now with that, I think we move to board recognition. All right, okay, so the first thing is, this is always a tough job, being up here recognizing a bunch of students. That's a really, really tough job to have so many people that are recognized for exemplary achievements in the academic world in Tustin Unified School District. But at this point in time, I'm going to ask the following seniors who will be recognized for being selected as the 2015 National Merit Scholarship semifinalists by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation to come forward when I announce your name. We have so many that we're going to come up in, I think, a little bit of groups. With respect to Beckman High School, I'm going to call up the following students. That's going to be Brian Kai. Okay? If I pronounce a name incorrectly, let me know and I'll fix it. Okay, you'll see. Some of these are challenging. This is the most nervous part of the meeting for me, looking at all these names. Okay, the next one is Sean Chandrasekhar. Close. Chandrasekhar. Okay, Jeffrey Chen. Julie Cho. Katrina Duong. Connor Haas, Hamza Khan, Charles Lynn, Catherine Lowe, Jennifer McCleary, Melinda Wynn, Vivian Wynn, and Aaron Yu. And from Foothill High School, Dania McNamara. Is Daniel here? Okay, folks, over 1.4 million juniors in nearly 22,000 U.S. high schools entered the National Merit Program, taking the preliminary SAT and the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test last year. The TUSD Unified students are among 16,000 high school seniors who will compete for approximately 7,600 merit scholarship awards worth about $33 million. So you're looking at people that have that opportunity to win that type of scholarship. They were selected based on their scores in the SAT test, The top scorers in each state, representing less than 1% of those competing, are selected as semifinalists. Merit Scholar finalists are based on high academic standards, their personal activities, a student essay, their school and community recommendations, and their SAT scores. And the winners will be announced next spring. And we congratulate you. Thank you. Okay, the following seniors are being recognized for being named 2015 National Merit Commended Students by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. These students are being recognized for their exceptional academic promise. They are among approximately 34,000 commended students throughout the nation. They placed among the top 5% of more than 1.5 million students who entered the competition by taking the preliminary scholastic aptitude test, the SAT, and the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Now, again, from Beckman High School, Nikki Aflatuni, Rahul Agarwal, Stephanie Aliaga. That's Stephanie Aliaga. Daniel Botts, Austin Chang, Jay Choi, Vanessa Chow, Michelle Chuang, Casey Chung, Megan Chung, Summer Davis, Noreen Farsai, Aoife Galvin, Paul Huang, this is where the superintendent urges money. Gotta have a fast hand here. Okay, the last person I think I mentioned was Paul Huang, correct? Paul Huang. Okay. Michael Jang. Okay, Nikhil Kure. Vikram Kure. Isaac Key. Min Kim. Keep that clapping going, you're only halfway. Okay? So just pace yourselves. Okay, Cameron Lee. Charlene Lee. Brandon Leong. Amy Lee. Gina Lee. Patrick Lynn. Nathan Long. Noah McMillan. Amy Montoya. Jason Ong. Emre Ozen. Sarah Park. Dean Fan. Mira Pravnov. Mayu Tanaka. Ryan Teng. AJ Wahid. And Annie Wang. Okay, the twins are Kare. I mispronounced their last name, Nikhil and Vikram Kare. So nobody has bragging rights, eh? Okay, there's not a triplets, are there? Just twins. Okay, so nobody has bragging rights in the family on this award. Okay, so we want to congratulate you for this tremendous endeavor. Thank you for working so hard and being a really bright spot for this city of Tustin, the Tustin Unified School District. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. Okay, due to space problems, we're splitting this up a little bit. So we have everybody? Okay, folks, congratulations from Beckman. And from Foothill High School and Tustin High School, I'm going to be calling up the following individuals who received this identical award. And from Foothill High, I'm calling up Lorianne Bandauer. Elizabeth Bloor. Our student board representative, Kashani Hathtuagama. Kimberly Law, Sarah Lehman, Matthew Morano, Thomas Spencer, Kelly Sullivan, and Alec Telson, as well as from Tustin High School, Sasha Chichov. Sasha, please. Congratulations. Okay, it's my privilege to move on to the next action in public recognition. And this is for a milestone that's been met by the Tustin Public Schools Foundation in celebrating their 25th year of service to the Tustin Unified School District. The Tustin Public Schools Foundation, a nonprofit organization, was formed to further excellence in Tustin Unified Schools and raise funds for TUSD schools and projects. Last year, the foundation, for example, donated $270,000 to the district for academic, arts, and athletic programs. Over the past 25 years, the Tustin Public Schools Foundation has donated almost $4 million to the Tustin Unified School District for tutors in such things as the advancement via individual determinations, the so-called AVID programs that are present throughout our middle and our high schools everywhere. Books for school libraries, middle school sports, music programs, technology and classroom programs, and school-wide grants in every subject. And that's really one of their bread and butter is the grants that they give out. The foundation also sponsors many school and community programs, including the Dinosaur Dash. The Dinosaur Dash, I've read, is one of the biggest children-related races in the United States. It was a great idea by this foundation. The State of the Schools Breakfast, the Teacher of the Year Dinner, the Tustin Summer Academy, and Young Americans Performing Arts Camp. So they have their hands in a lot of things. And the Board of Education wishes to thank the Public Schools Foundation for 25 years of dedicated work, ongoing support, and commitment to excellence in Tustin Unified Schools. Accepting on behalf of the Foundation's anniversary, or the 25th anniversary, are going to be the following. First of all, we're talking back to 1988 and 92, and 92 and 93. The two founding members are the past presidents, Nancy Cast and Lena Jennings. Nancy Cast in 1988 to 92, Lena Jennings 92 to 93. If you could start to come forward, we're going to bring up all the presidents. Is Nancy? Nancy's not here. Okay, so founding, we're also calling up the founding members and past presidents for the following years. Wes Moody, 1993 to 95, not here. Okay, 1990, Celine Osborne, 1995 to 96. Ms. Osborne. Becky Gomez, 1996 to 98. Okay. Matt Loeb, 1998 to 99. Chris Smith, 1999 to 2000. Dave Hunsaker and Valerie Lopez, 2000 to 2001. Ray Seiler, 2003 to 2005. Bill Peavyhouse, 2005 to 2007. Julie Hers, 2007 to 2010. Debbie Ewing, 2009 to 2011. Okay, Jerry Oss, 2011 to 2012. Tom Ziegler, 2012 to 2014. And our current sitting president, Margie Sepulveda, 2014 to 2015. I believe that Margie and Jerry had said that they weren't able to be here, but so this is a great moment. We really, the first time that I think as an individual getting to know the district was really coming through the Tustin Public Schools Foundation, being a liaison to the foundation, and this is where the rubber meets the road. A lot of people talk the big talk, but there's got to be doers out there, people that just get things done. And it's amazing what you've been able to do with a vision in 1988. That's just amazing. We read that book a couple years ago. Switch, how to change something. How do you change something when things have been one way the entire time, and then all of a sudden you have an idea and you change it, and you get a group of people behind that, and the energy and the enthusiasm for it. And as these folks are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of people that work for the foundation. And Carol Burby Garrett, I want to recognize you as well. You are the behind the scenes person. You make everything work for the foundation. And so with that, we'd like to wish you happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm Becky Gomez, and about a week ago, I asked Carol if I could have all of the past presidents' emails. She got that to me on Monday morning, and Monday morning I sent out an email to all of the past presidents asking them if they would make a donation in honor of tonight and the 25th anniversary. I sent that, I went to work, I got to work, looked at my phone, and oh my goodness, I had emails from almost every single president who said absolutely they would make a donation. So I would like to present this to Carol. And I don't even have all the checks in here, but it represents almost $2,000 just in a moment's notice. And honestly, when I saw the list of folks that were past presidents, I am truly honored to be a past president. You folks are unbelievable. You have really done so much service to this community. So for me, thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to invite up Tom Ziegler, who has a few words for a presentation. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll hold the check.
Okay, continuing with our tradition of making sure that money goes back to the schools, we are here tonight presenting a check for $25,260 to the district. This is for funds for technology, a Go Green grant to teach scientific concepts, support for music, dance, and the arts, and funding for after-school sports. This also includes over $10,000 that is going to be going to purchasing violins, recorders, and stands for music that's being reintroduced into the 4th and 5th grades. And we also want to thank Dr. Franklin and the board members for an additional $4,200 that they donated last month. So thank you all very much. So, do I do the board? Or do you want to do? Okay. All right, while I'm up here, we're going to finish off. As James mentioned earlier, this is the board that was put together by the foundation. It was hard to capture what we've done in the past 25 years, so we kind of picked some select things that are going on. Starting up here in this corner, of course, the Dinosaur Dash. If you haven't been, you need to go. November 2nd, first Sunday in November, always. Hope to see you all there. The next photo down was from our summer academy. That's Chip Foose, who is a parent here in the Tustin Unified School District. And Chip came to our robotics program at the summer academy, which was just an amazing experience for the students. And he talked to them about his business and the robotics program. And we are, with the district, introducing robotics in all of the middle schools. And we will be having a intramural competition at Curry Middle School on November 4th at 4 p.m., if I'm right on that. I always look at Carol because she knows everything. Up here we have the cross-country Save Our Sports program, which is, again, a middle school intramural program. 4 different sports programs are run throughout the year. The schools then get together, have a great intramural competition. The first one will be on October 22nd at Irvine Park, which will be the cross-country run. If you want to know anything more about these, you can see they all have QR codes right there. You can scan them. They'll take you straight to our website, and you can learn more about what we do. So thank you.
Well, one last thought about the foundation. We go on a rotating basis for the presidency basically up here, and I was here 5 years ago in 2009, and that was the worst time when we were cutting everything. And it was not fun being up here making all those cuts. And the foundation, they helped supplement budgets at that time. I mean, they were getting cut to the bone in certain departments, and we had to eliminate some programs, but it would not have been as bad had we, it would have been a lot worse if we did not have the foundation support at that time. And so, you know, the poetic part of this is that, you know, some of the music programs that we were forced to cut due to the lack of revenue in the dark recession of 2009, we were able to restore this year, and also with the help of the foundation. And so we just really appreciate you covering our backs. Okay, thanks a lot. Now, I would like to invite Marlene Hewitt, Chairman, and Kathy Greenwood, Musical Reinvestment Chair with the Town and Country Committee of the Philharmonic Society of Orange County, to come forward for a special presentation.
Good evening. My name is Marlene Hewitt, and I'm a chairman of the Town and Country Philharmonic Committee. Our members are pleased to support the new program for 4th and 5th grade students in the Tustin Unified School District. This has been made possible through the Philharmonic Society Musical Reinvestment Program. The Philharmonic Society believes that music matters and continues to foster an appreciation for music. With an energetic and dedicated membership of volunteers, the committees of the Philharmonic Society support an extensive array of music education programs that are offered at no charge to all public and private schools in Orange County. More than 3 million children from kindergarten through high school have participated in the youth music education programs since its inception in 1958. Music is a universal language, is critical to the spirit of people in our society today, and is an integral part of education. Through our love of music, we are grateful to be able to continue supporting music education throughout Orange County, and hope that every student that would like to play an instrument will be able to do so. through our fundraising efforts. Now I would like to introduce Kathy Greenwood.
Well, I must say the Tustin Public Schools Foundation is a tough act to follow. I love being involved with Town and Country Philharmonic because we bring kids to music and music to kids. And Marlene's already explained some of those programs. Many of you will probably remember the Disneyland Band concerts for your second graders and the music mobile that goes to the school. Another part of what we do is to raise money each year. And a portion of that money we are allowed to apply to put back in the community. And after meeting with Kathy Nielsen and other members of the school district, we decided what better way to put our amount of money but into the 4th and 5th grade program. And we're thrilled that you guys have decided to implement that program. And what I think is most poignant about it is that it touches every 4th and 5th grade child and is a great pathway to middle school and high school music. This year, we are thrilled to present $800 to you. It is 10% of what our fundraising efforts were. The rest go toward the larger programs. And this is to be used to purchase keyboards, their stands, bags, and any other supplies needed for the program. So not only are we excited to be doing this, but we're, again, thrilled that you have decided to implement music in the 4th and 5th grades. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Okay, we're going to move into a phase that will include the superintendent's statement and as well as the board representatives and the student representatives of the high school. So if you have the time and can stay, I'd really appreciate it if you could stay. There will be a recess taken after those two phases occur, but if you could stand by for the student speakers, that would be greatly appreciated. If you have to go, I totally understand as well, so no worries there either. So with respect to that, I'm going to direct you to Dr. Franklin for a State of the Schools address.
Thank you, Mr. Laird. And I do want to make a comment about the state of the schools, and I can keep my comments pretty brief. But Tustin Public Schools Foundation, who's celebrating the 25th anniversary, and we just celebrated the presidents, hosted 330 people in the Tustin High School Sports Pavilion on September 23rd, and it was a phenomenal event. And I wanted to thank them publicly. We thanked them pretty profusely that day, but thank them publicly in front of people who might not have had a chance to make it. But to put on such an event for 330 people, many city leaders, community leaders, parents, some faculty were there, really gave us a chance to celebrate the achievements of our teachers, our students, our schools, and recognize so many people who make such a difference in the lives of students. So thank you very much. Tustin High School, I mentioned, is the site of that, and I don't want to finish without thanking their ASB director, David Pay, their principal, Christine Matos. Tustin High School did a phenomenal job. Their ASB students were wonderful hosts. Their band sounded great. Their dance team was terrific, and it was just a great morning all around. I have a few more comments for later in the morning or in the evening as we respond to public comments, but that's it for my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Franklin. So then moving on to the student reports, I'm going to ask Bianca Lacavera from Beckman High School to please give us her report. Thank you, Bianca.
Good evening, President Laird, members of the board, Superintendent Franklin, district staff, and members of the audience. It is my pleasure tonight to present to you Beckman High School's monthly report. Beckman has just finished a successful first month of school. The Patriots have been keeping themselves busy with participating in and contributing to the 4 A's: academics, activities, athletics, and arts. In the month of September, both students and parents jumped into the academic atmosphere at Beckman. On September 16th, the freshman-sophomore parent night took place, and on September 23rd, Beckman held its back-to-school night. Rushing to be on time, parents packed into the school, followed their children's schedules, and got lost searching for room numbers. In other words, they looked a lot like freshmen on the first day of school. Meanwhile, the students at Beckman have reached an amazing academic accomplishment, with 42 commended National Merit Scholars and 14 National Merit semifinalists, some of them being honored here tonight. As college application season is now in full swing, it is fitting that Beckman hosted a Be Prepared for College night for seniors on October 7th and will host a similar event for juniors on October 21st. In addition, this Wednesday, October 15th, Beckman will be hosting its first annual college day in which seniors will attend workshops on college readiness. Students will be able to use their laptops to work on Cal State, UC, and common applications with their counselors, while other workshops range from learning more about attending art schools to helping students find and apply for financial aid. As always, the Patriots have been balancing academics with a multitude of activities. A few weeks ago, Beckman opened its doors to the community and held a successful blood drive with the help from the Red Cross Club. And on October 3rd, on-campus clubs took part in the annual Club Rush, in which Beckman students were given more than 65 clubs to sign up for. In addition, just last Friday, ASB put on a homecoming assembly featuring performances by cheer, both boys and girls dance teams, robotics, and a friendly competition between the fall sports teams. And speaking of athletics, Beckman girls golf is currently ranked second in the county and is undefeated in the Pacific Coast League. Worth mentioning would be the friendly rivalry between Tustin High and Beckman. At the Tustin Tiller Day Parade, the Tustin and Beckman cheer teams tied for first. Yet, at the football game between the two schools, the Patriots were crowned the winners. It was a hard-fought game, and with just 21 seconds left, Beckman's own Sebastian Tocalo kicked a 51-yard field goal for the win, resulting in the Beckman students tweeting #ProudToBeAPatriot. Upcoming for Beckman football is the annual Pink Ribbon Game on October 30th. It will be held in honor of James and Allison Caprillian's mother, Barbara, who passed away last June after a long battle with breast cancer. Allison started the Pink Ribbon Club at Beckman, paving a path for the hundreds of Patriots who joined the club since then. And on a final note, the artists of Beckman have started off the year with a fun competition in which they may submit t-shirt designs that will be voted upon by the students. The winning design will debut on a t-shirt, which will be available for students to wear in support and spirit of Beckman. In conclusion, Beckman has started off with a strong school year and is on its way to a busy year packed with rigorous academics, multitudes of activities, exciting athletic events, and inspiring art. Thank you for your time. Go Patriots!
Thank you, Ms. LaCavera. Now I'm going to call up Elizabeth Jensen from Foothill High School for the Student Board Representative report for that school.
Good evening, President Laird, Superintendent Franklin, members of the board, district staff, and audience members. October has been a very active month at Foothill High School. The first full month of school has brought a whirlwind series of sports, clubs, new teachers, and new activities. Our fall sports at Foothill, football, girls volleyball, boys water polo, girls golf, girls tennis, and cross country have been doing exceptionally well. Football stands 3-2 in league games. Cross country placed highly in a recent all-county meet. Boys water polo has been participating in numerous tournaments, and girls golf was ranked in the top of their league. Girls volleyball has won several close competitive games, and girls tennis has been on a multiple-game winning streak. Club Rush took place for students on September 12th. Foothill students rushed to sign up for clubs, from the more well-known clubs like CSF, National Honor Society, Club Fast, and the Ping Pong Club, to new clubs like the Max Love Club, Knitting Nights, and the Blind Children's Learning Center Club. All clubs are set up with the purpose of enriching the student body and promoting community service in the community. In addition, Foothill just had their homecoming weekend, a night in the tropics. The week leading up to the dance was our Spirit Week, with dress-up days including Tourist Tuesday, Sandal Monday, and Workout Wednesday. The homecoming assembly was held in the Event Center the week before and was a huge success. During the homecoming halftime show on Friday, at the football game versus El Dorado, our homecoming queen was crowned, and the Knights won their game. Students had a safe and responsible time at Homecoming in Paradise, aka the Foothill Quad, this Saturday night. The Foothill Marching Band, under the new leadership of Director Tim Thomas, has taken part in numerous competitions and played an amazing set during the halftime show for homecoming. They ranked within the top % of the marching bands that formed at Tustin Tiller Days and beat Beckman, something that the band members call unprecedented, and have a parade a weekend for the next 2 weekends. During all Foothill games, the Foothill Marching Band can be heard, the soundtrack to our cheering. Madrigals and advanced women's ensemble choirs recently went to camp near Santa Barbara to improve their already great vocal abilities. In addition, these madrigals and advanced women's ensemble singers performed at a concert at Enderley Center Friday night. Advanced Theater Arts is also beginning to hold open auditions for their upcoming play on November 22nd and 23rd. Foothill STEM, our engineering class, has developed even more this year so far. The class has received new technology, including a laser printer to go along with a previously purchased 3D printer. Sean O'Bannon, a Foothill engineering student, even used what he learned in class to develop a Foothill High School app that lets students check grades, upcoming events, and email teachers. In addition, on October 7th, Foothill held its first annual mini college fair in the quad during tutorial. Juniors and seniors were able to gather materials and talk to representatives from various colleges. Some schools included the University of California, Santa Barbara, University of Utah, Texas Christian University, and several others. Many students said that the event benefited them in their college readiness. Foothill's technology program has also kicked off. Every student received a laptop and has been learning about internet privacy and safety via online modules. Many classes have begun integrating the laptops into curriculum by initiating online tests, flipped classroom lectures, and in-class essays. The technology has also made students more accountable for the work that they previously couldn't have completed. The computers are also teaching a degree of responsibility. A special thank you goes to Dr. Porter, our vice principal, for spearheading the efforts. In conclusion, Foothill is starting to take off. Our activities are in full swing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Jensen. And I'd like to introduce Daniel Richardson, the representative from Hillview High School. Welcome.
Good evening, President Laird, members of the board, Superintendent Franklin, district staff, and members of the audience. Last week, the Hillview seniors had their first senior activity to IHOP. The students came hungry and left happy, like the IHOP slogan states. 2 weeks ago, 15 Hillview students participated in the Hillview Help program, where they volunteered assisting the staff at Lambert Elementary. Last week, we had our first Hawk Pride Student of the Month luncheon. Students were honored for their good work, positive attitude, and demonstrating improvement in school. Mr. O.D. thanks the Kiwanis Club for sponsoring the luncheon. This week is the finals for the Lunchtime Football League. Winners will be treated to In-N-Out. Video games are very popular with the Hillview students. Currently, 90 students are participating in our first video game tournament of the year. The winners are looking forward to being treated to lunch. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Amanda Wynn, Tustin High School, the student representative for tonight.
Good evening, President Laird, members of the board, Superintendent Franklin, district staff, and members of the audience. It is my pleasure tonight to present the board report for Tustin High School. Since we last met in September, our tireless tillers have engaged in numerous activities. On our September 11th blood drive, ASB and Livestream teamed up to collect a total of 150 units of blood. Our very own Joshua Doan was selected as Young Man of the Month for the month of September. On the morning of September 22nd, Tustin High was honored to host the State of Schools breakfast in our very own sports pavilion. We were ecstatic to see many familiar faces and the tremendous support for our schools and district. On behalf of Tustin High, I would like to congratulate Beckman High School for their victory during our Rumble on El Camino football game. It was a close game, but we assure you that Tustin plans to reclaim the trophy again next year. Our varsity boys started off the season with a 3-2 overall game score and continued to amaze us with their most recent victory against Western High School with a score of 61-7. Participating in the Tiller Days Parade allowed our dedicated tillers to display their hard work. Our cheer squad deservingly earned first place in the parade, along with our dance team also receiving first place, our all-male dance team receiving second, and our Tiller Marching Regiment receiving third. Most recently in October, Tustin High has shown our support in the cause to fight breast cancer at last Thursday night's football game, in which we pinked out the stands. This past Friday, Club Rush was held in our school plaza and allowed both our new and returning students to explore and join 25 clubs that include SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions, Key Club, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. In addition, our Tiller Marching Regiment competed this weekend at the Valencia Field Show Tournament and took home the first place award. Upcoming events at Tustin High include our PSAT taking place this Wednesday. While the PSAT is taking place, the class of 2015 seniors have been given the opportunity to visit one of 3 different college campuses that include UCI, Cal State Fullerton, and IVC. Also taking place at Tustin High is the College Career Fair hosted by Beckman High School on November 3rd in the Sports Pavilion. This will give TUSD students an opportunity to explore and learn about what they would like to do after high school graduation. Other future endeavors include the groundbreaking of our new humanities building taking place at Tustin High on October 30th at 10 a.m. This structure will be a 2-story building composed of Model United Nations and social science classrooms, which we are all very excited for. This concludes the report from Tustin High. Thank you, and go Tillers!
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Nguyen. If you would just report back to your ASB that the board that attended the State of the Schools breakfast enjoyed your hospitality. The ASB put it together, waking up very early. They woke up about maybe 4 or 5 a.m., I don't know, but to be there bright and early to help all the guests come in and enjoy themselves. We really thought you looked very professional, very responsible. We thought it was very impressive. So if you'd let them know, I'd sure appreciate that. So with that said, we're going to move on to our student board member report. That person is from Foothill High School. That student is Kashani Hathatuagama. Thank you, Kashani.
Good evening, President Laird, Superintendent Franklin, district staff, and members of the audience. It is my pleasure to present to you the district board report for the month of October. This month, from October 20th to the 24th, kindergarten through 12th grade will participate in Red Ribbon Week, a nationwide program implemented in all TUSD schools. For nearly 30 years, schools have utilized Red Ribbon Week to promote a healthy, drug-free lifestyle. Dress-up days, lunchtime activities, and first-hand speakers will endorse drug awareness and stimulate healthy life choices. Dress-up days are spirited and a simple way for students to take a stand for a healthy lifestyle. At Arroyo Elementary, students will dress up in 50s attire and listen to 50s music under the slogan, "Drugs are old school." Because being drug-free and healthy rocks, students at Red Hill Elementary will dress up as rock stars. Hughes Middle School students will sport their coolest sunglasses on Tuesday to shade out drugs. And at Tustin High, students dress in formal attire in order to suit up against drugs. Lunchtime activities across campuses will get students excited about supporting Red Ribbon Week. Both Benson and Gwen Foss will kick off their week with a BMX assembly, highlighting the importance of bicycle safety and implementing a healthy way of life. Throughout the week at Columbus Tustin, the electives teachers will show clips from the Natural High series, depicting successful athletes, business people, and entertainers, explaining how they get their natural high from their lives instead of from drugs and alcohol. In the spirit of the Dino Dash, Pioneer students will run from drugs in old Dino Dash t-shirts. This activity is similar to a cakewalk, but participants will run to win healthy treats. Red Hill Elementary also encourages their students to keep healthy eating habits by passing out a Caught in the Act award to kids eating fruits and vegetables. Tustin High School hosts a performance at lunch from the band Hobart Ocean. The band's lead singer lost his father to substance abuse and will deliver his empowering message about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. At Foothill High School, red ribbons will be tied on student cars to remind them to drive drug and alcohol free. And at Beckman, the Youth Action Team will be giving out free hot cocoa and mugs with the slogan, "Mugs, Not Drugs." Many schools district-wide also write pledges to remain drug-free and healthy. Often, staff and students decorate the school with pledges to remind everyone of the importance of Red Ribbon Week. Most schools will also choose a day to wear red in support of a drug-free environment. The benefits of living a drug-free and healthy lifestyle last longer than a week. Therefore, our schools implement many aspects of Red Ribbon Week throughout the year. Students feel safe having school resource officers on our high school campuses. Additionally, our high schools participate in Every 15 Minutes, which includes a simulated accident that has been caused by drug and alcohol usage. As you can see, Tustin Unified students and staff continue to support Red Ribbon Week and promote healthy lifestyles. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hathatuagama. And at this point, as promised, we'll have about a 30-second recess to excuse anybody. I appreciate everybody that stayed to hear the student reports. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And great job, students. Okay, thank you. We're going to resume. I know there are some public comments coming up. We're going to get to you as quickly as we can here. There's two more matters that need to be handled. We're on section 4 of the agenda, that's staff presentation and information. Is there a report of or any staff response to public comments?
Yes, there is, Mr. Laird. Last month we had a couple of speakers, maybe 5 or 6, come and speak to the board about a variety of topics that I thought required some clarification. First of all, there was a gentleman who spent some time talking about the poor service, customer service that he received from his child's school. And the gentleman did say it briefly in his remarks, so I just want to point out that his student does not attend a Tustin Unified School district campus. So while we appreciated his remarks, I just wanted to make it clear that he was not talking about one of the schools that lies within Tustin Unified Schools. Other speakers talked about the California Healthy Kids Survey and mistakenly connected the California Healthy Kids Survey to the implementation of the Common Core state standards. And they talked at some length about the negativity of the California Healthy Kids Survey. However, that survey has been in place for about 14 years throughout the state and does provide important data to the district about student wellness issues. Parents in the state, including Tustin Unified, do have a right to opt out their child from taking the survey, and the district and the schools notify parents of that right in writing. If folks are interested in seeing sample questions about from the California Healthy Kids Survey, they are available at CHKS, that's California Healthy Kids Survey, CHKS.wested.org. And then finally, some people spoke with concern about the district's adoption of the Common Core state standards. And I just want to make it clear that actually it's the state of California that adopted the Common Core state standards, and they did so in 2010. In Tustin, the Common Core state standards align with the TUSD Connect initiative, which is to teach rigorous standards through engaging instructional strategies supported by technology. The Common Core standards are supported by higher education leaders and business leaders across the country. Our teachers, principals, and administrators are committed to the implementation of the Common Core in a manner that best supports student learning and continues the tradition of academic excellence in TUSD. And that concludes my comments.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Franklin. Appreciate it. Moving on to Tustin Unified School District Connect Bright Spots. Thank you for your patience.
So as they're coming up tonight, I just wanted to remind you that we like to highlight some of the excellent things that are happening in our schools, particularly around TUSD Connect, and that of course includes our Measure S technology. So tonight we wanted to make sure and feature a high school device deployment. So we have here today, we have Sarah Pfluger and digital learning coach Jacqueline Spangler to talk about what's going on at Foothill High.
Good evening. We put together a short video that we would like to show you about what we've been doing in Mrs. Pfluger's class, and afterwards we will speak about that.
believe that technology has really enhanced the way we learn things by enabling us to deepen our ideas and our understanding of major concepts and themes, and to augment the scope of how we really view things throughout the world.
I think the biggest way that technology has impacted the way we interact with our curriculum is that it gives us a more whole perspective, because before we would just read the text and learn what the teacher wanted us to see, but now we're doing research on our own. We're seeing how all these themes connect to modern life. We're seeing a lot of different sources about different interpretations. And in this project we're actually connecting it to what the Scarlet Letter, which is the book we're reading, to something outside. So we're actually connecting it to a bunch of music videos and using the technology to make our own music video parodying the Scarlet Letter themes in modern terms.
Just really briefly, working with Jacqueline's been amazing. This whole project came to be on our very first meeting on campus together. She walked into class, the kids were doing a web search with their computers, which we had got maybe a week, and she started bouncing ideas, and we have this great project. The kids were so enthusiastic about it, and it wasn't until we decided to officially do it that Jacqueline's like, this is actually a project you do at the end of the year with the Technology Fellowship. But the kids heard that, and they ran with it. We have some kids that are doing nearly 2 or 3 different presentation tools for one project. And the best moment came on Friday. I told her she missed it. A student at the end of class was looking at her presentation tool and looked at me and said, I could so use this for my science class. And that was brilliant. In an English class, you never, ever hear, I could use this in a science class. So it really, I think it put it in perspective for them. These are brilliant kids, but given the opportunity to see what they've done in about a week and a half, it's just been amazing. And the technology makes such a huge difference. Otherwise, they would have been writing an essay, and this is way more fun for them. So this is good.
Yeah, we definitely saw their potential, and we decided to go with it. We offered them some tools, and they went beyond our expectations, as always. And I think the tools helped them do that. So they were capable of a lot more than we thought, and they're flying with it right now. So they're almost done. They're ready to present
Thursday and Friday. Yep.
So thank you.
I just have an observation. When you talk about present, right? You always put more work, a student always put more work into something if the audience is their classmates rather than simply their teacher. And I think that's one of the big differences between an essay and these kinds of presentations.
Yeah, I would just thank you for the presentation. I think it's an exciting time for the high schools to get the rollout of the devices. And, we're expecting the digital coaches to be the pioneers here and really, and the students, everybody collaborating. But we're really hopeful that the devices can be used to the maximum, to get the most out of these laptops for all the classes. That's going to be amazing. So appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, folks, thank you for your patience. I'm going to call up some speakers right now, and it's Mr. Brian Hessler. Yes, sir. Thanks for your patience tonight.
Oh, it's okay. It was actually a pleasure to hear all the students being honored tonight. I think that was fabulous. Unfortunately, my kid goes to Tustin. There was only one kid from Tustin, and that's obviously kind of troublesome to me. I'm trying to get him in a Chinese course right now, and the only school that offers it is Beckman, and I can't get him transferred over there. Obviously, with all the National Scholar Merit honors you see honored here tonight, obviously I'd like my kid to go there. I mean, it makes common sense. Or to improve Tustin, where they're performing at the same level, one or the other. But, I'm trying to get my kid transferred there because he wants to take Chinese courses, and he has equal right, he has a right to equal access to education, and I don't know why I'm being stonewalled into transferring him there. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking for a response. Everyone says it's closed, but based on federal law and equal access, he has access to those Chinese courses like anybody else in this district.
This is a time where this item is not on the agenda. We're here to hear public comments. We're going to look into it. I understand that
That's
we
okay
have,
if you look into it. That's fine.
I think it's already been looked into, but it will be if you come up with something that comports with the way we work our transfers, the inter and the interdistrict transfers, we're welcome. It's welcome for you to come in and talk to us if you have something that works within the confines of our policy on those transfers.
Well, what's happened up till now is I've told it's closed and you can't do it, period. I mean, that's not a heck of a lot to work with. I mean, I need a little more to work with than that.
Unfortunately, sir, you're not the first nor the last to be in line to say that. Unfortunately, a lot of the schools are impacted, and a lot of people aren't going to the schools they want to go to.
What do we do about it? I mean, that's the question. What do we do about it? I mean, what do we do to improve? What do we do to improve Tustin? We come here tonight. We have a ratio of 56-1. National merits from Beckman versus Tustin. 56-1. That's a heck of a ratio. Of course, I want to transfer my kid. I mean, anyone with any common sense would want to do that when you look at those statistics.
Yeah, we'll follow up with you.
All right.
We understand the route you've taken, and we appreciate your comments. It's just we can't comment any further than what you've done, and our action is based on the rules we've set up on the transfers already, interdistrict and the interdistrict transfers.
The only problem with that is if he doesn't have access to those Chinese courses, it's a violation of federal law with equal access to education. He has equal access to those courses.
Yeah, we'll follow up with you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mr. Hessler. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to I'm going to this has a card that says they want to be the first to speak, so I hopefully get the card right. And it's Aaron Gerain, is that it? Oh, Gawain? Gawain, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gewaine?
Yeah.
Gewain.
Gewain.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to be first to speak. There are my husband's here and several of neighbors from our neighborhood are here, and I am going to kind of give the background just so that you all can understand what's been going on in our neighborhood. Unfortunately, I am here to make you aware of a very serious matter and to ask for your help. Many of us, as you can see, are concerned about the massive amounts of unsecured and visible marijuana that my neighbors, the Roselands, have at 18921 Dodge. This address is less than 50 yards from Foothill High School. There is only one house in between Foothill High School and this house. And this house is obviously very close to Hughes, as the two schools are naturally very close to each other. So I suspect this is impacting quite a few members, quite a few students and parents from Foothill High School and from Hughes Middle School. On October 11th, 2013, almost 1 year ago, my house was broken into during the day by a Foothill High School student. At the time, we didn't know that the culprits were students. We didn't know who it was that broke into our house. They did not take my laptop, and I took my laptop to the Apple store, and they were able to determine that someone was trying to log on from about like 11:45 a.m. to 3:21 p.m. So this student was in my house all day long, rather than being at school, where I suspect he probably should have been. Between the 11th, the first time he broke into my house, and November 3rd, he and another student came onto my property 6 times, for a total of 7 times that these students were on my property. Many of these times were during school hours. It's my understanding that schools are responsible for their students within a reasonable amount of time before school, a reasonable amount of time after school, and throughout the school day, lunch and break included. By tracking footprints we were able to determine, it became very apparent that these people, which we didn't know at the time were students, were coming into my backyard to gain access to the Roseland's backyard, where the marijuana is free for the taking. We still don't know whether they were there to steal the marijuana, buy the marijuana, collect the marijuana for distribution. That is yet to be determined. When they were arrested, it is my understanding that the children, or that the students told the investigator that they were stealing the marijuana from my neighbor. During this time, every single time there was a trespassing, we called the sheriffs. They were less than helpful, not very hopeful. They kept suggesting that we purchase an expensive surveillance system, which we did, and that's how we finally caught the footage of the two students. The day that we did capture the footage, the two students hopped into our yard and did exactly what we had figured out they were doing, hopped into our yard, hopped into the Roseland's yard, grabbed what they grabbed back into our yard, back into our front yard, and back down the street. Once we had them on footage, we took the footage, gave it to the sheriff that came to our house. He gave it to SRO Myers, and the students were arrested on November 4th from Foothill High School. One of the students had a few of our stolen items on him at the time, so he was also charged with possession of stolen items. Both boys apparently say that only one was in the house, so one was charged with the burglary. In January, this January 2014, one of my neighbors met with Diane Blackstone, who I understand is no longer at the school, but my neighbor felt as though he had a really good conversation with her and that she wanted to be aware of anything that happened in the future. In August, the very beginning of August, all of a sudden one day, huge marijuana plants, the officers that come to my house and myself included estimate these marijuana plants to be 9 feet tall. They are this much over the fence. They are huge. So I started calling the police again. Again, the officers are not very helpful, not really willing to do much to help us out. So I met with Dr. Stephanie at the beginning of August, shared with him the pictures that I had on my phone, explained to him. When I went home, I sent him the address of the house and sent him the 5 photos. He said that he would be in contact with the new SRO Via, and that he would see what could be done. Nothing was done. The sheriffs aren't helping. I don't know if things are going on behind the scenes, but nothing is going on or has been told to my husband or I to fix the situation. I'm trying to be proactive. I have taught high school math in the Fullerton Joint Union High School District for 13 years. So I feel like I know how students operate, and I feel as though until this marijuana is secured and not visible, I will always have a problem being next to him. My family will always be in danger being next to him. The families on my streets will always be in danger being next to him. All the students that walk to and from Foothill High School will be in danger. All the students that participate, I've always also coached cross country, and I've seen the Foothill cross country. They're very good. Running by that house, all the school kids that walk to and from Hughes Middle School will be in danger. And I think that Foothill High School will have a problem with truancy, because why wouldn't kids go there and get it if they can get it so easily? So I'm now coming here hoping that you guys can help out, because I just have tried pretty much everything and I just don't see the problem going away until it is secured and until it is not visible. Thursday last week, one of the officers, I have footage of one of the officers coming to my house Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot a whole section. I'm so sorry. So this all started again in September, the 29th and October, 29th of September, 29th, 30th of September, and October 3rd. 3 more students, we have footage of them on our property. So we now have a total of 5 Foothill High School students on our property during school hours. And I say that, like I said, because I just feel as though I want you to understand that this isn't one kid that's come, this isn't one kid that's ditched school, this is 5 kids that have come on my property during school hours, and I just don't see it going away until it's locked, until it's not visible. And I know that you guys care about kids, otherwise you wouldn't be doing this. I know that I care about kids, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. And obviously I care about my family's safety and my neighborhood's safety. And so I just really hope that we can work together to try to solve this problem. I also brought you handouts. It's just bullets of what has gone on and then a map so that you could visualize the area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Mr.
Quinn.
I brought 5, so I didn't. Thanks.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I just want to ask a question. Can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
We had a little conversation about this, and we were thinking that what we might need to do is ask the school district personnel to meet with Supervisor Spitzer and see if he can help us. Have you had any contact with the supervisor's office so far?
The school?
The county supervisor.
No.
Okay, because being that it's in the county area, we that was one thing we thought we might, and I think, Greg, you want to talk about that?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm assuming Mr. Chris Quain?
Got it right the second time. There you go.
Yeah, got it. Her handwriting just wasn't as good as yours.
I've never heard that one before. I have the worst handwriting, so.
It's a combination of both, learning curve and handwriting.
So, I think a couple things, Aaron did a great job, I think, explaining the situation in our neighborhood. A couple other things I wanted to kind of make sure everyone knew. Last year when we initially got broken into as a neighborhood, we formed, kind of a neighborhood watch. And so actually, we've been proactive in trying to take care of this situation internally. Fortunately, I think two Fridays ago when the kids were back on our property, one of our neighbors spotted them, called the police, and we were able to, get them off our property, quickly. So, I do really appreciate our neighbors' support, and I do think we've made steps in that area and brought the thing to a surface. We also really appreciate Dr. Stephanie's help stepping up supervision on that end of the campus. I think the key is to make sure that supervision's continued because it's clearly, unfortunately, not going away. And then, we've been told that there's permits for the marijuana usage at the property. I guess the concerning thing, we have a 1.5-year-old daughter that will hopefully go to Foothill High School one day, and kind of the concerning thing, being a new parent, is who in their right mind is giving a permit to someone for marijuana usage 50 yards from a high school? I mean, I get California allows marijuana usage, but there needs to be a little common sense, I think, involved in where the permits are being utilized. This isn't farmland out in Corona somewhere. This is very close-knit community. And so, and lastly, we're really not really sure where to go from here if this doesn't happen. Do we need to go to the Orange County Register to make this a public issue? We just feel like, from a common sense standpoint, it just doesn't make sense to have marijuana, pretty much in the middle of Foothill High School in Hughes. So, thank you for your time and appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, now Ron Gerlach. Mr. Gerlach? Yes, sir.
Hi, it was Ron Gerlach, and
Okay,
thank you,
apologize.
board members, for taking a minute to hear my comments. I'll keep it short. I'm here in support of Aaron and Chris. I'm a neighbor on the street. My wife and I both live there. It is a big issue, and I just want to be here to make sure we make an impact, especially in light of the anti-drug comments that were made previously. I mean, it was actually great timing for our visit here tonight, but
I agree.
I'll leave it at that, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, Tara Renaud.
I'm Tara Renaud. You're not doing very well tonight, Mr. Laird. Tara Renaud, and I'm actually the house that's between Foothill and the Roseland's house. And I'm also here in support. I don't really have any new facts other than to say that I work from my home office. So I talked to Dr. Stefani just this morning, actually. I see a lot of it, and I do have my suspicions that he is selling. And the reason I can say that is because I've seen several strange boxes on his wall, and we haven't caught them doing that, but I think that too, I understand you guys want to hear it, and there's only so much the high school can do. Unfortunately, yes?
When you say he is the student or he is the resident?
Oh, the resident. There's boxes located, I've seen two of them. One was like a bright blue box, and I have no idea what was in it. I can only imagine, and it was right around, I was one of the ones who saw the student's bike, and it was during school hours. It was very strange. But my theory is, there's a box, so he's not actually selling it. There's a deposition place and, maybe money or whatever. I don't know, but I know him, and I wouldn't be surprised. But my point is, I don't think after what I have heard from the sheriff, because I also have had my own dealings with them, the only way to get rid of the marijuana is to prove that he's selling it. Because state of California voted it, and everybody wants it. He's part of a collective, so he can supply it to people with a permit, and that's apparently legal unless we can prove he's selling it. So I don't know, what you do when you do underground or undercover stuff to find out if they're buying it. I don't know if we can do that, but if we could, that would be a way to get rid of that problem in our neighborhood, and it is a problem. Thanks.
Ms. Renaud, thank you very much. Michelle Wong. Ms. Michelle Wong.
Thank you. I'm basically going to be just kind of restating, supporting my neighbors and the concerns that we have. And thank you for allowing me to address you. As you have heard, Mr. Roseland is cultivating what appears to be dozens of marijuana plants, which are several feet tall on his property. As a member of the community and a parent with children attending Tustin schools, I want to voice my concern not only for the children, but for the residents in the area. As you are aware, Mr. Roseland lives on Dodge Avenue, which borders Foothill High School and contains a major entrance to the school. The location of the property is just a few yards from Foothill and a few blocks from Hughes Middle School. In fact, on school days, overflow cars from the high school are often parked in front of or nearby Mr. Roseland's property. Dodge Avenue is also a major walkway for students going to and from both Foothill and Hughes. For some students, the lure of easy access to free marijuana is too great when all they need to do is simply jump over a wall. Mr. Roseland's marijuana cultivation creates an unsafe environment for Tustin Unified students and area residences. I urge the board to look into and take any measures available to discourage and, if possible, end Mr. Roseland's cultivation activities. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wong. Okay, last but not least, is this the last person? Colleen Reber. Colleen, how are you doing?
I am doing great, and you said it perfectly. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I cheated. I've known her since our kids have been in first grade or something.
Yeah,
right?
I have 2 daughters at Foothill, and they are flourishing there. I love Tustin, the city of Tustin. I like the schools. My kids have gone all the way up, and I'm excited. I have a senior, and she's about to move on, which that's a whole nother story. But this is a very serious matter. I wouldn't be here if it was frivolous, okay, because this is, I'm a very low-key person, I'll tell you. We are definitely below the radar. But this affects, I want to tell you just what happened last week. I'm just going to say it from the heart and tell you how it affects our students. I have 2 students. My little girl, who's a freshman, 14, is walking home from school. She sees another boy, a boy that she makes a habit of avoiding at school. There's some kids you avoid. So she sees him in front of him, thinks something's odd. There's something odd. He's in front of me. Hey, I'm one street from the school. You should be able to walk. She doesn't have to cross the street. All she has to do is turn the corner and go on the first street. So all of a sudden she sees the boy turn in our street. There's 7 houses on our street. And it says private road. There's gates. The gates are always open. But it's very noticeable if somebody drives or comes on the street that doesn't belong. So she sees the boy come on, and she already knows. So she sees him go on Aaron's and Chris's lawn and hop the fence. She runs home. Mom, Dad, somebody's breaking into the neighbor's house. My husband is not a small guy, runs out. I'm calling the police, and all this havoc comes about. She's terrified. She's terrified because she needs to go to school with this guy who just saw that she saw who it was. And she, being the little trooper she was, she says, I know who it was, Mom. I want to tell the police. We waited for the police. Our other neighbors took a picture. When our other neighbors saw the boy, they said, hey, what are you doing? This kid has no fear. He said, I'm looking for my mother, as he's hopping the wall to my neighbor. They're totally disrespectful. What they're going for there is drugs. I mean, this is reality, and it's scary. These type of people do not listen to you when you ask them. You can't scare them away. The police, they come by, they don't even call the parents. How can we not call the parents? We should have the right, or somebody from the school district should be able to call the parents and say, hey, listen, your kid's on this private street, he's hopping in people's yards, and he's going after drugs. I can't understand why we can't put the kid in a cop car and take him to the house and do this. It's just unimaginable to me. So then the neighbors took a picture of the boy, and the policeman knew who it was, so she didn't have to identify. But she had a whole bunch of anxiety about this. She still has the fear that this boy is going to retaliate against her because she saw him, and she's terrified. And so now when we're talking to the police, he said, don't approach these boys. They might have knives or guns. So what does this do? Ups her anxiety. Now she's worried about this guy retaliating against him. She doesn't feel safe walking home, which is 1 block from the school. It's ridiculous. So she doesn't feel safe. She's afraid to be alone at the house, even though, my other daughter's there. We can't communicate with the parents, and it's just causing all this anxiety. And this is happening over and over. This just happened a week or so ago, but this keeps on happening. We don't know what to do. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to do something, and I just hate this is happening in such a great community. We have all these scholars that actually want to be participating and doing good. And we're showing them the way, and then we have these couple kids. We need to make it so hard, so tough. If you get caught doing this, something bad is about to happen. You can't just let them get away with it, because they have no fear. I'm telling you, these kids have 0 fear. You know my husband. If that guy came running after you, wouldn't you be a little scared? They're not scared. They're not scared. So we have to do something that deters them from going there. If we can't do something, legally, we have to really push down when we know who it is. They spent thousands and thousands of dollars on the surveillance system. We can identify them, and we need to make it a point to come down hard on them. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Colleen. Well, everybody was very eloquent in terms of everything they spoke about tonight. We're going to definitely take this under submission and take a really hard look at it. I know that just a couple bad apples can disenfranchise an entire neighborhood of their rights to enjoy their own property, to walk down the street, go on the sidewalk. You're very eloquent about that, Colleen. I mean, that's what's at issue at times, and I think we could look at what the other agencies are doing. I'm uncertain what the key part of this whole thing right now is the sheriff. If there's a violation of law, they need to be looking at that if there is one. And it deals with the medical marijuana and the harvesting and all that, but I think it's definitely something we'll look at. And if they're violating anything, the sheriff really should be presenting something to the district attorney's office for a filing if they think a crime's occurring. But these are just basic thoughts. I don't know the facts in terms of talking to the sheriff or anything, but I really think it starts, you're doing the right thing by going to them. They're the police. They investigate, they gather evidence, they look for proof. They can go undercover. Somebody said undercover. They can create or write up search warrants that a judge can approve, if there's probable cause to go in and search the place. So there's a whole bunch of things that have to start, but it has to start on the law enforcement side. But by the same token, we're going to look at what we can do on our side, because it's unacceptable to have people trespassing into one residence to get into an area where marijuana is or other drugs. That's completely unacceptable. So I promise we'll look into it. Everybody will take this real seriously, and Dr. Franklin will be meeting with you and get back to you. And thank you, Dr. Stephanie, for sticking around. I'm sure he's a willing ear at any point to work with you. It sounds like he's been able to work with you, but we're problem solvers up here, okay? So we're going to find a way to solve it, okay? All right, any other comments? All righty, any other comments? Okay, appreciate, thanks a lot. Okay, moving on to the next order of business. There are discussion action items. And the first one is action item subdivision A. It's Measure S Citizens Oversight Committee. Apparently a sitting member now has become in the employ of the Tustin Unified School District, is no longer eligible to be in that position, so we have to appoint another person to that position, and the motion, or at least the recommendation, is to appoint Guy Ball to fill the vacancy on the Measure S Citizens Oversight Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for Mr. Ball to be on that committee. Any discussion on that issue? I think it's a great choice. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it unanimously. Moving on to Board Policy 6183, that's regarding a regulation concerning home and hospital instruction for students that have to be at home due to a disability or illness for a lengthy period of time. I've read it. It's just basically conforming a regulation to current law. Any discussion on that item?
No, I'll move
Okay.
for adoption.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for adoption. Board Policy 6180, and that's adopting it, not just a
Correct.
first reading, but adopting it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it unanimously. Okay, subdivision C is certification of provision of standards-aligned instructional materials. This is required by law we're to certify that we have the proper materials in the schools as set forth what's required by California law. I'll make a motion to approve that. Is there a second?
Second.
Or is there a public hearing
Yeah,
on
Mr.
this?
Laird, there's a public hearing.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. The law requires me to open up a public hearing on this. The public
hearing's
hearing is
over.
open. The Board of Education is holding a public hearing to receive community input on the certification of assurance for fiscal year
14, 15.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure it wasn't skipping a page. For certification of assurance for fiscal year 2014-15 regarding the availability of student textbooks and instructional materials. I'm opening that hearing. Does anybody want to be heard on the quality of our textbooks and instructional materials? Seeing that nobody wants to make a comment, I'm closing the hearing, and now we're on to the resolution. That's Resolution 104814 concerning pupil textbooks and instructional materials. Is there a motion? I think I made one. I'll still move approval of that.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt 104814. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it.
Just a question. Is
Yes.
Are C and E two different votes, two different things, or one thing? On the agenda, there's an item C and an item E.
Thank you for that.
Are they two different
You know what,
things you have to
you
vote
might-
on, or one thing?
I think that's a duplication. You're right, Mr. Davis.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that true, Kathy?
They're titled
I don't think so. I read the agenda. It's different, isn't it?
It's titled differently.
The first one certifies that we have the right instructional materials. Then there's the hearing, and then there's the
The resolution.
resolution that the board takes action on.
Okay,
So
well, I
we
messed
need-
that
So
up.
we need to go back and certify then, right?
Is the only one we have to take action is E, okay.
Well, C, we have to do C too, though, right?
Yes.
Yes, we do. I'm sorry, I printed out my agenda, and it's very difficult to read at times because of the way the agenda prints out. Okay, so as to C, it's a certification of the provision of standards-aligned instructional materials.
I move we approve the
okay.
certification and provision of standards-aligned instructional materials.
Okay.
Second.
2014-15
Okay, it's
school year.
been moved and seconded. There's an addendum that sets forth all the instructional materials that are being approved. It's been reviewed by the board. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it as to subdivision C.
And then we adopted the resolution.
Okay, we've adopted the resolution under E. Can we move on to the consent calendar?
Yes, I'll move that we adopt the consent calendar in its entirety.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to pass the entire consent calendar. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it unanimously. Moving on to
Pupil personnel.
pupil personnel. Okay, there are a couple of readmits. Can we combine those?
I think there's three, and I'll make that motion to approve those.
Okay, so that's concerning readmits for students 62, 06, and 20. That's A, B, and C on the agenda. This is to approve their readmission into the Tustin Unified School District. All terms and conditions have been met with respect to their pupil discipline. So in terms of readmitting them, has there been a second on that?
I believe so. I think
Okay,
somebody
so it's been
seconded.
moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it unanimously. Okay, moving on to the expulsion, that's 2014-1501, that student number. Is there a motion and a second to approve the stipulated expulsion pursuant to what's set forth on the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second that. Any discussion on this action item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it unanimously. Moving on to student 2014-1502, again, that's approving a stipulated expulsion as set forth in the agenda. I'll move to approve that. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye. I'm sorry.
Aye.
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 I haven't heard you, Francine.
Aye.
Okay, aye. 5 ayes, unanimous. Moving on to board member comments.
I'll start. Go ahead. Our 2014 Teachers of the Year, Jennifer Morrow from Hicks Canyon and Joy Wardlow from Orchard Hills. School will be honored at the Orange County Teacher of the Year dinner on Friday, October 24th at the Disneyland Hotel. It's sponsored by the Orange County Department of Ed. They were both selected to represent the district in the Orange County Teacher of the Year program. Just as a side note, Trustee Davis and I were in the Tustin Tiller Parade, and they also had asked for our 2 Teachers of the Year to participate, and they were also in the parade, which was very nice. And they had a good time.
Right? Mr. Davis?
Yes, I had a very impressive senior from Tustin High School visit me on Sunday, and what I was impressed with is the senior year's barely started, and he already has all of his college and university applications turned in and completed. So the rest of you are all behind, I guess. But, the other interesting thing shows how shows how things all work together. He wants to major in engineering, and his main activity in high school is he's part of the award-winning dance team at Tustin High School. So dancers become engineers. I thought that was interesting, and or engineers become dancers, one of the two. And this all relates to the fact that coming up on Monday, November 3rd, in just a few weeks, we have our 29th annual College and Career Fair, and it's going to be held at Tustin High School, and it's for all the students from all the high schools. It's not only for students who are looking for four-year universities, but also those who are looking for technical training programs. Vital Link, which is an organization that gets information to students about career technology and certification programs, is a partner with us in doing this event. And we're going to have over 100 representatives from colleges and universities and military academies. And we're going to have workshops on financial and admissions and also the athletic requirements, NCAA requirements. And so I think it's something that really every high school student in our district should consider attending. And one last note is, I'm not sure when this is going to be broadcast, but today is October 13th, and next Monday, October 20th, is the last day to register to vote in this November election. So thank you very much.
Tustin High School, again. The groundbreaking ceremony for our new humanities building is on Thursday, October 30th at 10 a.m. It is a new two-story facility which will include the the award-winning Model United Nations program and social science classes. The public is invited to the event, and you may call the TUSD Communications Office at 730-7339 for more information, but that's Thursday, October 30th at 10 a.m. And to anyone who has not been on the Tustin High campus recently, it's just phenomenal, all the renovations and new buildings, and it looks great, and this will be one more exciting chapter. Tammy Bullard and I had a very worthwhile a better part of an afternoon interviewing architects for more projects at Tustin High, and I want to thank staff for doing a great job bringing forth some excellent architects.
Okay.
Tammy?
This has already been covered, but it's worth mentioning again because it's so important to our district, and that's the upcoming Tustin Public Schools Foundation Annual Dinosaur Dash on Sunday, November 2nd at the Tustin Marketplace. The registration opens at 6:15 a.m. The first race is the 10K race, begins at 7:15 a.m. There's a 2K fun run, a 5K, a 10K, a bike tour, community booths, activities for children, food and music, and all the proceeds benefit the foundation and our schools. There'll be money going back into our classrooms from this event. So to register or for more information, visit www.tpsf.net. That's it.
I'm going to chime in on that. I was asked to make a public service announcement. In addition to participating, if anyone is interested in volunteering for the event, there are still volunteers needed for Friday, all day Saturday, and even the morning Sunday for helping to check registrants in, as well as the day of the race. There's still need for volunteers along the various courses. This event actually takes over 600 volunteers to put on each year and growing. And so any help that anyone wants to provide to the event is certainly helping the schools as well as helping the Tustin Public Schools Foundation put on the event. So again, go to that website, and there's a link there that says, I want to help, or I want to volunteer. If you click on that, it will take you right to the calendar, and you'll see the various time slots and at the various types of things that are needed, and you can put your name in there. Thank you.
Right. Did anybody talk about the Teachers of the Year? You did? About the dinner? Okay. Okay, just double checking. Okay, with that, I just want to say I think the year is flying by. We're already in October. Things are moving along, and really, from my perspective, having a senior at Foothill now and seeing the rollout of the devices, the laptop proteges, which are made by Toshiba, has been rewarding just to see all those devices in the hands of the students and being incorporated in the curriculum this year. So glad she got a chance to check that out before she graduates in terms of the device. But so it seems like everything's going well, and that's my comment for tonight. So I appreciate it, everybody, all your hard work. I think we're actually gonna roll back into closed session, and then we'll report out a closed session if there's anything that needed to be reported out. So thank you very much. Have a great night. Thanks.